Hello and welcome to Mile High Reefers. I'm Scott Anderson, and today we're going to talk about heater selection, and more specifically, the new heater that I purchased and how I chose it. So I don't claim to be a heater expert, but I do have some core beliefs in what to choose in a heater and some ideas on how to make you more successful. So this is what I do. Believe me, this is all just my opinion and my experience. The heater is something I purchased with my own money. It's not something that was given to me to trial. This is what I like and what I choose to use. So take a look, see what you think. I think it's a pretty decent heater. Alright, so here's the ViaAqua 300 watt titanium heater that I purchased for my system. So I purchased this heater because I'm kind of over what my current heater can handle easily. It still maintains my water temp at 78 degrees, but at night it runs all the time. So I'm currently running the old version of this heater. So part of the reason I went with this heater is because the other heater has been really successful for me. I don't notice any change in temperature while running this heater. When I set it at 78 degrees, it stays at 78 degrees. Now I'm not running a high-end temperature probe connected to like an Apex so I can really monitor within half a degree to really know what it's doing, but on my thermostat it just stays dead on 78 degrees all the time, no worries. But like I said, I'm getting a little big for one heater. So I went with another one, and ideally I would prefer to have two small heaters on any system I put together, and that's just for redundancy. That way if one heater goes out and stops working, I'm still able to heat my tank, and if one of the heater fails in the on position, I'm much less likely to fry everything in my tank. There's still that possibility, but it's less likely. So when I look for a heater, the criteria I want is I want titanium or I want a composite. I want something that isn't going to break. Personally, I'm a bit of a klutz. I move rock around, I move stuff around, and I drop stuff, and well, it sucked to break one. But even worse is I've heard too many horror stories of people just having their glass heaters shatter on them. They'll be away at work or wherever, the heater will shatter, they'll come home and everything's dead. So for me, a glass heater is just not an option. You'll notice on my fish only system that I also use as a quarantine tank, I am still running a glass heater, and that's just basically due to budget. That will be upgraded eventually. But anything I buy, definitely from now on, titanium or composite. So also, I really like having the temp probe external of the heater. That way I can set this a long distance away from the heater, and that way I'm not getting the direct heat off of the heater. It's just more accurate. And then I like having the external controller. This puts the controller out of the water where it's easily accessible, and this one's really nice. It's got an LED setup on here so I can see what it's set at all times. So those are the big criteria I look for. This ViaAqua system is a very inexpensive heater for what you get here. This heater with shipping was like 45 bucks, so very reasonably priced for everything you get here. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It has proven reliability, at least in my own personal experience, and it works very well. And like I previously mentioned, huge that you run two smaller heaters instead of one big heater just for the redundancy fact. We want to make sure that if one heater goes, we still have a backup, and if one heater fails in the on position, we don't fry our system. So I'm going to go ahead and install this on the system, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so So here's the heater installed. It comes with suction cups, but like everything with suction cups, they don't actually suck. So it's just kind of sitting on the bottom. And then I ran the temperature probe behind this rock, and it's held down with the rock since, of course, the suction cups never stay. But that keeps my temperature away from my heater, so I get a pretty accurate reading as to what's going on. Then the wires just run up to this controller, and to set the controller, you just hit this button and it runs through the loops. You can have it in either Fahrenheit or Celsius. I live in America, so I went ahead and stuck with the Fahrenheit. People may be wondering what size heater they should buy, and well, that's kind of up to your system and how everything works for you. If you read the literature that comes with this controller or with this heater, it's only good for about an 80-gallon system, which I don't believe, because I was running 250 gallons of water on it and it was still maintaining 78 degrees. So I'm not going to be a lot of help as to what size. Best I can say is, if you've got a house that fluctuates in temperature a lot, it's going to make a huge difference. My sump is in the basement. It probably stays about 73 degrees in this room just because of all the equipment running. So really, I only have to heat the water about 5 degrees minus what's going on upstairs. So it makes a difference. That's also part of why I get away without running a chiller and a big metal halide system, is I've got a lot of water down here. But best I can say is, underrate your heaters, and if you need to add another one, it's just the safer bet in my opinion. So I hope you liked my video. I will continue to make more of these, so rate and subscribe. Thanks for watching.